Hello and welcome to Storyboard. I'm Shabani Gharat. We are in conversation with Valerie Beauchamp, who's the Global Head of Agency Development and Education for LinkedIn Marketing Solutions, the company's growing marketing and advertising business. In her role, Valerie leads a global team that is responsible for cultivating relationships with advertising, marketing, and agency partners. She was recently visiting India, and I caught up with her in this exclusive conversation and spoke to her about many things, including how are brands using LinkedIn for their marketing, key B2B marketing trends, and much more. Valerie, welcome to CNBC TV18.
Thank you.
What brings you to India?
Lots of really good things. I think the first and most important thing is, though I have a global role, I rarely have the opportunity to actually drop down into the markets and understand from our customers what their priorities are. And this is such a dynamic market, particularly in the context of marketing and advertising. And I haven't had an opportunity since I've joined the company to come and spend time with our clients and customers. And so I'm here for a week to do that.
Oh, wonderful. And I believe your role entails, and I'm just reading it out, to cultivating relationships with advertising, marketing, and agency partners. So how are they viewing LinkedIn today, and what has changed in terms of perception over the past 2 years of the pandemic?
It's really interesting. I guess I'll start by saying, like, one of the greatest compliments that you can be paid as a platform is when an agency partner says to you, we'd like to be doing more in more ways, and finds more pillars for our partnership. There's a few things that I think have driven sort of an expanded interest and excitement around LinkedIn as a platform. I think the first is, since the onset of the pandemic, we've seen an enormous amount of engagement in the platform. In India, we now welcome 92 million members, and our member engagement is some of the fastest growing in this market. And so what that means is there's new types of conversations, new types of communities that are being built, and that's gleaning sort of new insights and new opportunities for marketers particularly to engage. And so I think where agencies particularly begin to get excited is kind of on two fronts. One is what new opportunities are available for marketers as a result of the growth in member engagement and the types of conversations that are happening. And the second thing actually is sort of more internally focused for them, right? Which is at our core, we have an enormous amount of information and understanding around talent, and how people move and what they value and what they're looking for in a company and a place that they want to work. And in agencies, talent is their product. I mean, that is their distinct value proposition that they offer to their clients. And so to the extent that we can help agencies continue to strengthen their products, upskilling, helping them understand where to search for new talent, helping them understand what sort of skills are valuable, where they're coming from, where to find them. That's an additional thing that we can do to help their business grow and ultimately help them serve their clients better.
I'm going to come back to your first point, which is what new marketing opportunities do companies have on LinkedIn as a platform? So what are these marketing opportunities, if you can explain, and what are the tools that you guys have?
Sure. I'll start from a place of saying, the audiences that we welcome onto the LinkedIn platform as a result of its professional context are incredibly valuable to marketers, particularly marketers in the business-to-business B2B space. And part of the reason that they're so valuable is because we know so much more about an individual as a member. We know who they are, we know their title, we know the industry that they're in, we know where they're located, we know who their network is, we know where they were beforehand. And the ability to build really robust audience strategies as a marketer and engage with these groups of people is really kind of unrivaled, particularly from a professional context. And so that is one of the first solutions we offer, which is just the opportunity to extend your reach and deepen your engagement with these audiences. I think the other thing that is really compelling and that I get very excited about LinkedIn is you don't just have to think about us as an ad platform, because one of the things we also offer is companies the opportunity to build their pages, to build pages and communities around their products and around their services, and to use those as foundational platforms for their narratives. And then you can start to think about how you maximize that content and those platforms and those communities and those engagements with follow-up advertising investment. And so as I think a little bit about that relationship between organic and paid, It's such a rich ecosystem to do that for marketers on the LinkedIn platform. And when you couple that with audiences, it's kind of an unmatched opportunity.
Yeah. And Valerie, I mean, I have seen people view LinkedIn as a platform for job seekers, for, updating their profile, to post about their profession, about themselves, about their education, their skills, upskilling, etc. How has that perception changed, in the eyes of brands and marketers, and how seriously are they viewing LinkedIn for advertising?
Sure. I think if you go all the way back to the vision that the founders had when they established the platform, which was, to create economic opportunity for every member of the global workforce, that started first and foremost in recognizing the power and the value of a network, right? And so you naturally found yourself first and foremost in that talent space. What happens though, when you now boast a network and a community of 850 million members globally, is the things that people talk about, the areas where they seek knowledge and guidance, the things that they celebrate, the challenges that they call out, the perspectives that they share, suddenly creates an ecosystem and a community and a set of content and conversation that brands can be a part of. And so born of this vision to create economic opportunity also means that you can create economic opportunity for businesses, right? You can create economic opportunity for buyers and sellers, for people in the products and services marketplace, for knowledge seekers and knowledge creators. And so we started from a really ambitious place to begin with. It manifested first in talent, and now I think it creates a really robust ecosystem for marketers to engage in.
Great. Since you're in India, if you can cite some of the key trends that are happening in LinkedIn, in the country, and how do they differ as compared to some of the global trends that you guys have seen?
Sure. First of all, just this is one of our fastest growing markets for member engagement, right? Which I think is great because it means that there are more and more people who are finding value as members and participating in the platform. I think the other thing that is really interesting specifically about India is one of the evolutions that we're seeing in business to business marketing particularly is this move toward an increased investment in brand building and creativity. We did a study right before Cannes, the Festival of Creativity, where we sort of tried to discover the degree of growing creative confidence that existed among the B2B marketing community. And one of the markets with the highest percentage of creative confidence is actually India. Wow. I think it's something like 99% people say they're highly confident in sort of the creative evolution in the B2B space here in India. And so what that means is the way that marketers are using our platform here is much more varied. It's no longer just about kind of lower funnel lead generation performance marketing. It's also moving them sort of further upstream and building their brands and beginning to think about how they infuse creativity to tell stories.
Yeah, and key focus areas for LinkedIn in the coming months?
From a marketing perspective, one of the things that we are getting really, really excited about is the opportunity to build communities around products and services. So instead of thinking about communities of, let me bring together a group of IT decision makers or a group of CTOs, what if we orient a community around a specific product or service and we bring together the buyer, the seller, the marketer, the brand, the builder, the user? What kind of conversation happens in that space and what opportunities does that present for brands to engage?
All right, thank you so much. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.